Shop NBC and ShopNBC.com. Be good to yourself.
We are indeed getting underway with our second block of Stuhrling. Jim had a great launch of that Our Top Value, which is still available, and we will revisit coming up in this hour. But in the meantime, we have 2 more hours of incredible Stuhrling original timepieces, including the Our Top Value, but some other great opportunities. There are some favorites here. You're going to see some very exciting deals in this next couple hours. We have a bunch of value pay specials. We have some free shipping. In fact, I think our very first item is going to be on free shipping. I own something very similar to this one at home. Didn't get this price, though. You're getting it today only on this Cesario Automatic, $92.61 today only. Your first payment, $18.52. So if you'd like to grab one of those ahead of time, might be smart. That is V90476. Then we're going to get you right into the Louis watch. $150 is your shop. Cool movement on this. We'll go into some detail now when we get to $150. Your ShopNBC price. Your first payment is $50. V90473. Please get on that one right now. We have a presentation coming up. I like this. The Eclipse 2 on an automatic in the black and gold tone or the white and gold tone. $175.75 is your ShopNBC price and one payment of $58.58. Going to get that one home. That is V90046. That's just a head start. That is just a few of the opening opportunities that you're going to see in this 2 hour of Stuhrling original timepieces. Jim showed it to you an hour ago. It's time for the second look at Our Top Value.
I didn't switch it.
And here we go with another look at today's Our Top Value. And already people are calling in and picking this up on our Stuhrling original Raven Diablo watch. Your Our Top Value price, $129.36. We have one interest-free payment. Going to get this one home at $32.34 as a special opportunity. We also have reduced shipping and handling, a $4.99 shipping. It is ordinarily a $9.99 shipping and handling opportunity for you. We have 3 of these available. The black, the rose tone, and the silver tone. All 3 available. About $1 a day cash equivalent to get this home with the first interest-free value payment. Now, are we all set here? Do we have the correct height? Do we need any more adjustments to be made? I think we're all set. Larry Magen is back with us from Stuhrling original timepieces. I don't know. You see, your hair adds a couple inches to the height, so I don't think it's fair for me to be down at this level here.
You know what? Maybe I should bring you a Stuhrling hat, and then.
I have a Stuhrling hat. You gave me one of those once.
I did. I gave you one of our nice ping hats, didn't I?
I love my Stuhrling hat. Here's Larry, by the way.
Hey guys, welcome in. Thank you all for that first hour with Jim. It was nice to see Jim back.
Yeah.
And, you know, I enjoyed it, but hey, thank you all for the response. And now we're going back into the Raven Diablo again. If you missed it in the first hour, here we go now with Shawn Wilsie. Listen, you know how I feel about this piece. It's one of the hottest looks in the industry right now, and we've put our spin on it. And here we go, Shawn.
Well, and let me point out, there are 2 choices. There's a black, there's a rose tone, and there's a silver tone. And I guess even at this early hour, they're selling pretty equally with a slight edge to the rose tone execution. And we'll show you the 3 different variations and variables that there are here. I'll tell you this, I'm having the worst time making a decision. I know I want to get one of these, but Larry, they're all so incredibly done. The fact that you can own one of these at a $32.34 first payment means you might want to go ahead and pick up on a couple of these styles. I'm just randomly going to pick the one right here on the end, and it looks like a
you took the black? Okay, that
version.
Yeah, I grabbed the black, but that's cool. You take the black.
No, okay, well, if you have the black, no, never mind. Never mind.
Okay.
You're my guest. You wear the black version. I have the silver tone version.
Okay, well, I wore the silver tone in the first hour, which is probably my choice, by the way, for me. But the all black, everybody knows I love black and orange. So here we go with the black with the orange accents, and there it is. But you know, regardless of which color choice you go, the bottom line is you are getting one of the hottest looks in the entire watch industry. You see these square watches. A lot of companies are doing their interpretation, and that looks great on you, Shawn.
I like this.
Yeah, that was
really like this.
That was my choice too. But the stainless steel black, they're calling it silver tone black, I guess, or just silver tone actually. But again, a lot of companies are doing this kind of square case look with kind of 4 bolts in the corner look. Mm-hmm. And again, that look is one of the hottest in the industry. This is our interpretation here. You've got the beveled bezel, as you can see. You've got a Cristerna crystal. And we even brought the different elements of the case to show how it's all put together. I don't know if we're going to repeat that.
We'll get to that later, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but you've got a Cristerna crystal, you got the beveled bezel, okay? Then you look at the dial elements. You have a carbon fiber dial, okay? And then of what's remaining of the dial. Then you've got those two individual template pieces that are actually screwed onto the dial. You have the flange that's also added to the dial. That's that angled flange that goes around the outside. And on the angled flange, Shawn, if you take a look real close, you've got those spherical luminous dots. But take a real close look at those spherical luminous dots. You've got kind of you have a bezel. They're actually separate pieces. It's a bezel set luminous dot. Okay.
You know what? I didn't notice that at first.
I'm telling you, there's
absolutely amazing.
Yeah, there's so much detail. It's phenomenal. And then again, the whole idea of having a skeleton mechanical automatic is a conversation piece. You can see the balance wheel, you know, beating over there at the 9 o'clock position, oscillating at 21,600 vibrations. It's showing your appreciation and your love for watchmaking.
Right.
The whole art and tradition of watchmaking when you wear a skeletonized watch. Now, many of our skeletonized watches, as you know, Shawn, where the whole dial is cut away. Here it's a semi-skeletonized. It's not the entire dial. It's about 50% of the dial, or maybe more than 50%, maybe 60%. You can see the balance wheel, which is the key component. You see that little woodpecker-like thing right in the middle there?
Sure.
That, as you know as well as I do, that's the pallet fork, but that is actually releasing the power from the mainspring into the drivetrain, which powers the watch. And that little gear that it's actually, you know, clicking on, that is called the regulator. That is your regulator gear, which actually regulates the watch to give you near perfect time, you know, all day long. So, you know, it's a conversation piece, and this is the way watches were made in the old days before computer chips and batteries were put into watches. Of course, the Japanese invented the quartz movements back in the early 70s. But you're showing your appreciation and love for watchmaking, and here you have it in really, truly one of the most updated styles of the day. The last 3 or 4 years, this square look with the bolts in the corner is truly one of the hottest looks in the entire watch industry.
As you look at the case back, too, in fact, I'm just staring at our sample here, the case back, as you look at this shot, and you can see the decoration that has been done to the rotor and to the actual watch movement itself. That extra work, that extra touch adds to the complexity of the piece, and certainly ordinarily that would be passed on in the cost. That is not what at all what is happening here. So you have all of that decoration, all of that magnificent detail. Even the rotor, as you can see, has been carved out. So there are some moments in time where you will see all the way through the dials. You'll see all the way through from the front all the way through the back of the piece, depending on where the rotor is actually positioned. The next one I want to put on here, and I think this is now my favorite of the three, is this rose tone piece. With the rose tone or the silver tone, you get different tones, obviously, of the piece, but different things stand out. On the all black, it's more of just a solid, stealthy look with the carbon fiber and the black accents. I don't know, with the rose tone, there's just an extra bit of detail to see. There's something very rich about this. It has taken that real stealthy black version and added in a very rich tone as far as all of that rose gold layering over the stainless steel areas that you're seeing. And the plates, the little disc that you see, luminescence on the hour and the minute hand, obviously, as well. And today, a one-day opportunity to own this at $129.36. I'll get you the case sizes, too, on this. It's a square case. It's about it says 42. Did Jim double check that, or?
It's 42 by 42.
It is 42? Okay.
It's a 42 by 42.
Feels larger for some reason.
Well, the thing is, it's 42 by 42 square, but from 10 to 4, it's actually 47 and a half, because again, the case, it's not a round case, it's a square case.
Okay.
So Jim says it wears like a 44 or 45, but the reality is
he's right.
From 10 to 4, it actually measures 47 and a half, but the case square size is 42 by 42. If you can figure it out from there, then go ahead. But,
yeah, go ahead, indeed.
But just take a look for perspective on the wrist. And here, I don't know if we can get a shot of this, but this is the actual movement that you're getting inside. Now, you see me wearing glasses, so everybody knows I'm blind as a bat. But take a look at this, guys. This is the actual movement that comes inside the watch. And you see it's, you know, it's all black PVD.
Oh, I like
yeah, and you see all the decorations on the movement. I'm holding it by the crown there, and you can see the balance wheel over here on the right-hand side of the screen that's beating back and forth.
Look at that.
Right, and then down at the bottom, which normally on your watch will be at the top, because I have it flipped upside down, that is your mainspring. And I could even, if I just hold it tight, I can actually wind it while we're on camera here. You see me winding, you see the mainspring tightening up, and you see the balance wheel.
Cool.
And then there's the back. Take a look at that, guys.
Oh my God.
But you see all the decorations here, and you know, I've got all the different elements. I'm going to show you the dial as well. But the level of watchmaking that you're getting for $32 on a value pay is just phenomenal. This is a great R-top value. And we joked in the first hour that we started working on this R-top value about 6 weeks ago. When we first started talking about it, the Raven Diablo, we were looking at about a 179, and before you know it, 6 weeks later, we're on the air at 129. So, you know, it's a good thing we came to air when we did, because if we would have waited another month, you know, I don't know if any of us could have survived. But
well, and honestly, this really is a darn near giveaway at that kind of a price point. And of course, 4 interest-free payments of $32.34 to get this home. It is on a rubber strap. The total length of the piece, 9.5 inches long. The strap at its widest is about 29 millimeters wide, so you have a nice wide strap. I think it's very appropriate in the way that it's custom designed for the case. You can see how that strap fits perfectly in between the lugs. The other difference, really the only other difference between the two, the rose tone is the only one where the case and the case back is done with a rose gold layering. If you're buying the black or the silver tone, you will still get the black case and the black case back. So that's the only other variable between the two. And Larry actually has part of the, this is interesting. You're going to see part of that exhibition case back, and I can actually even see the curvature that you have.
Yeah,
there.
it's actually a curved case back, and the crystal is curved as well. And I don't want to get my fingers in the shot. I don't know if we can get this, guys, but okay. But here we go. And you'll see, again, the case back. And again, this is so important because not only is it a curved case, but the case back itself, you can see how it's kind of curved, and the crystal is as well. There's all your information. But again, it goes to the engineering, and you could slightly see over here that it's a threaded, you know, I mean, the way it fits in, it's threaded, and then you also have, you know, it's a screw down. You see the holes for the screw down as well. So, I mean, again, this goes to the engineering of it's not just a pop-off case back, it's not just a flat case back, every little thing, and this is all blank from solid steel. So, again, it goes to the watchmaking, guys.
It's the quality that you expect from one of the Stuhrling original timepieces, which is why, in fact, last night during Larry's show, I had my my chat room up and running on my MySpace page. I should get my computer hooked up actually here at some point tonight so we can converse with you. I don't have it set up yet. And we were talking about Stuhrling. We were watching the show and chatting and talking about the products and everything, and someone asked about the Stuhrling original story. And we had Stuhrling original here at the network some years ago. You guys went elsewhere for a while, but
we
you're
lost
back.
our way, Sean.
We
lost our way.
But you're back on track.
We're back on track.
And I was expressing my views on the line, and I was very frank. I said, look, what Stuhrling is doing now exceeds what they were doing when they were first here. And I own original Stuhrling from the first time when Stuhrling was here. What you're doing now is even more exceptional than what was happening back then. The quality has stepped up so much.
Well, I do believe we've made a lot of strides in the quality, but also it's not just the strides in quality. Our whole line has been expanded so much because back in those days we were doing almost predominantly dress watches. Everything was everything was so elegant, everything was so dressy, and we still do a lot of the elegant dressy pieces, as you and I are going to find out in this hour. We have the operetta coming up, we have some beautiful, but we've now, the last 2 years or so, we really have expanded into the sports category, bigger watches, sporty watches, and I was just talking to Jim in the first hour about, you know, we've always been known for our dial work, but in the past it was because of our geoshape work with the hydraulic German machines, and we still do a lot of that. But now our dial work is taken on a new dimension with multiple components, multiple elements, and we're doing, like for example, right here on the Raven Diablo, great example here. You've got several pieces that make up this dial. It is phenomenal, but there's no geoshape work on it. So again, it goes to the dial work, and if anybody knows George J. von Berg, George, he takes so much pride in his dials, and he oversees all of our manufacturing. He's our exclusive manufacturing partner, and it's all about the dials with George, and that's why, you know, we do have that reputation of our dial work.
Larry has, here's the watch as it's assembled. Larry has the dial as it exists or doesn't exist, as the case may be, so you can see that detail there.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I'm holding it with the tweezers, but the tweezers are actually gripping the flange. The flange is that angled piece that's on the outer perimeter. It's actually applied to the dial. You can see those luminous spherical dots with the bezels. You can see the carbon fiber that's been applied to the dial. You see those separate pieces with the screws, those templates that are on there as well. You see the little minute markers that go around the outer perimeter of the dial, and then again, this is a brass dial, okay. But again, a lot of different elements go into making this dial, and you wouldn't expect necessarily this much watchmaking at this price. We're
going to show you the luminescence. Larry talked about it. We'll give you a look at the actual luminescent properties, as you can see right there on the hour and the minute hand, and those bezeled luminous dots that you have running around the outside of the dial. So quite a degree of luminescence on this piece. Let me show you something else that I really like. And again, it speaks to the quality of all these Stuhrling original timepieces. And is this rubber strap? There are varying degrees of quality on rubber straps in the watch world. It's 29 millimeters wide at this widest point here. What Stuhrling Original has done is, and the buckle will correspond in rose, silver, or black along with the purchase that you make. You have the dual keepers right here. So, you know, a little thing perhaps, but not really, if you think about the time and the commitment that it takes to have this custom buckle designed for this strap.
Well, not only that, that's a great point. Thank you so much, Shawn. You notice everything. Nothing gets by you. I guess 20 years in the business, you know, you've been practicing.
Let's hope the IRS never catches the things I try and get by them. So.
Let's not talk about those guys, all right? Are you in the same boat as me?
Oh, boy.
No, but I'm clean now, okay? Another 22 years and I'm caught up. But listen, seriously, folks, where was I just going with that? Oh, the strap.
The strap, that's
right.
I got
Shawn, you're pointing out the buckle, but if you show the back of the strap here. Now, this is something for the trained eye, okay? Because when you look at lots of watches, and I'm involved in a Stuhrling Original, of course, but we're part of a group that is got 6 companies involved, and my responsibility is only Stuhrling. However, I do get to see watches, you know, from the other companies that is in our organization, our sister companies and what have you, and you get a trained eye for looking at watches, and I'm looking at hundreds of watches, not just Stuhrlings, and certain things you look for, and if you take a look at this strap, the first thing that I would notice with a trained eye is that, hey, this was a custom-made, custom-molded strap, and the way you can tell is right off the bat, it says Stuhrling Original on the strap, which means we invested. We had to spend anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000, depending upon how tricky that the mold is. But you have to make a new mold for a rubber strap. Now, again, you may say, well, $3,000 to $5,000, that doesn't sound like a lot of money, but we're talking only about the strap. And also, when you consider there are lots of companies out there that do what we refer to in the business as outsourced goods, they're not making custom molds for every new model, okay? Okay, they're not making that investment. They're getting existing off-the-shelf, off-the-rack straps to fit their watches. They don't have that investment. And this is what everything about Stuhrling, the strap, the buckle, the case, the hands, the dial, the crown, everything about it, nothing is off the rack with Stuhrling. Everything is engineered specifically.
Here's where we're at in the presentation. This is the second airing of this watch. We've already sold through a good amount of these. Now, the first, they're selling almost equally. This is interesting. The black, the rose tone, and the silver tone. I really like this rose tone piece, and I guess there's a slight edge to the rose tone. Here are the other 2 executions. Let's give you a look at the silver tone. The silver tone, see, now I go back to the silver tone, though. There's something about that basic black and white combination that is very, very rich. Our producer, Bryce, was just saying, I really like that silver tone combination. That was the one you had on earlier, you said.
I did, and if I was going to, pick one that I can only buy one, I would take the silver tone because I like to wear jeans and tennis shoes a lot, Shawn. And,
I'm with you.
And also polo shirts and what have you. I'm a jeans and tennis shoes kind of guy, as you know, but I do wear suits too, But to me, this is the most multifunctional. And when you get into, even with suits, stainless steel and black, you can wear that with a black suit any day of the week. And to me, this is the most versatile, and this is the one I would definitely go with, although the rose gold black is probably the most striking to look at.
You know what? I think you just nailed it. I think that's the perfect description on this piece. Again, you're getting carbon fiber. You're getting a rubber strap. You're getting these special... In fact, let's talk about this crystal for a second, because this is something that was brought up in the chat room last night. Somebody was asking me about the crystals that you use, because you use a different name nobody else does with these crystals. What is it?
It's called Cristerna, and Cristerna is a proprietary product for Stuhrling Original. We own the trademark for it, and about 5 years ago we were involved with a few other watch companies in the development of Cristerna. It comes from the eyewear industry, what eyeglasses are made from, and it actually has more strength over a spread surface area than sapphire. They are the most shatter-resistant crystals in the entire watch industry. Now, having said that, sapphire is a harder surface, so it actually is more scratch resistant, but along with that, because of its unforgiving nature, it actually is more prone to possibly break, okay?
Interesting.
So here, we feel very, very strongly in Cristerna. We are so proud of the Cristerna crystals. We bought we own the trademark. We bought the other companies out. We own it. So, and it's in pretty much, sorry guys, but we own it. It's in all of our watches, and it's, for me, the best crystal in the business for the money. It really is.
We have 3 choices. It's up to you which one you want to get. $32.34. One interest-free value payment can get this home. Remember the shipping break, $4.99 is your shipping charge. So an outright commitment of under $40 on a Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover card is going to get this one home. If you're as excited about Stuhrling Original and the timepieces and the designs, this is your weekend or week. What day is this, actually? This is
Sunday night.
Sunday night now.
I'll tell you
I
what.
am so messed up, I can't even tell you anymore. So this is the start of the Stuhrling visit because you have other shows throughout the day today.
You're messed up, huh?
You have no idea. I don't know if it's day or night, what day of the week it is anymore. I just...
Manishtra halala hazet, which means why is this night any different than any other night?
Thank you. Well put.
But anyway, no, but listen,
Larry
guys,
Magen, everybody. It's been fun.
that's why I love working with Shawn, because he's a real old timer, okay? And I'm an old timer, and I still want to someday do a show with you standing up, because
We are closer than you think to that.
because you are the only guy here that will do that with me, because I know you go back to the 90s and
It's
so do
coming.
I, when all shows were standing. But we'll
Yep.
do it someday.
It's
But
coming.
listen, guys, going back to the rave, listen, if you can hear my voice, if you can hear our voice, everybody out there, and we have a good number of you on the phone right now. Thank you all for the response. But everybody should be grabbing this timepiece. You can you can bring it home for $32 plus the $5 shipping charge to just check it out, because this is truly one of the hottest looks in the entire watch industry, this squared look with the bolts in the corners, and this is our spin on it.
Yep.
You're getting tremendous value here for $130 for this timepiece, and you can bring it home on a value pay at $32. Everybody should listen to what I'm saying. Listen to the right voices,
You'll make the right choices.
and you'll make the right choices. Thank you, Shawn.
Thank you very much.
You know, I think it looks like, you know, we've been practicing that.
I know you. I know you like my brother now.
Okay, but everybody should just listen to what I'm telling you guys. You can't go wrong with this. And by the way, if you don't like it, then please, I want you to send it back, and ShopNBC will gladly
No
let you
risk.
send it back, because it's no questions asked, 30 days return policy. But everybody should jump on the Raven XP.
I was going to put that one on. I didn't realize the clock is almost gone. That went fast. There are the three choices: the black, the silver tone, the rose tone. It's very straightforward, very simple. Get the one that you like. Not J, V item numbers here, V90825. So write that down so you can get in and grab that Stuhrling Original. We're going to get into a lot of other pieces. We have some this hour that are positively screaming out of here already. We haven't even previewed everything yet. We saved some surprises for along the way, and again, one more hour after this. We have some great original designs. In fact, the next piece that you're going to see is one of my picks tonight, and it's it's hard to pick out a favorite in this line. They're all so nice. This is, and this is important though, the last presentation at the introductory price in this show. The price will go back up at the end of the day today. So this is your last chance to get the Bailey Automatic for $177.27. That price is going up at the end of the day. We have two choices still remaining. We have the rose tone and we have the silver tone options here. 43 millimeter case diameter, also on a rubber strap, 9.5 inches long on this one. Two great choices with, I don't know, for my money, I think just one of the coolest designs in the show, because, well, I'm going to let Larry talk about the movement here, and I want you to pay attention to this, because I don't think, and I can't remember, people assume I have this memory where I can remember every watch I've ever shown. I wish I did. I can't. But I don't remember this movement.
Well, you don't remember because it's brand new. Okay?
Is it new? Okay,
It's brand
good.
new, and you've probably never seen any other company with it. Now, you will, give it another, 4, 5, 6 months or so, 8 months, you'll start seeing other companies with this configuration. But this is a brand new movement out there, and I'm sure there are a lot of guys out there with lots of watches here that are running back to their collection to see if they have something like this. And I promise you, don't waste your time. You don't, okay? Here's what you've got going on here. This is our Bailey, okay? It's a mechanical automatic. All you collectors out there, all you guys that are looking for something different for your collection, to me, this is not a starter piece, although if you've never owned a Stuhrling, by all means, jump in and grab a sophisticated one. But here's what you got going. Mechanical automatic. It has a retrograde date. Now you see
Yes,
that.
it does.
Now you see the big hand in the middle. Now a lot of watches, there are mechanical automatics with retrograde dates, but typically they're going to be in a sub-dial or a semi-arc over in a small way on the left or the right, or 2 o'clock, 9 o'clock, something like that. Here you've got it big front and center across the dial, so when it hits 31, it's going to snap back to 1. But here's what makes it so special. That in combination with a pointer day in the sub-dial at 6 o'clock. Now, we need a kind of a close-up shot.
Yeah, we're going to get tight on this one
Okay,
here.
so you can see what I'm talking about. But you have a pointer day,
Turn it up, right.
pointer date. But that's not all, okay? if you look at the subdial at 6 o'clock, and you'll notice there's a pusher at the 4 o'clock position. That pusher is going to be able to set your day of the week, and I'll show you how that works if we have the time.
Yeah.
But if you see the subdial down at 6 o'clock, let's come down a little bit, guys. You'll see the Sunday, Monday. You see the red pointer arrow tip hand? Okay, that's you've got a pointer day and pointer date. But the subdial at 6 o'clock also doubles as small seconds. So off the same axis where you have a pointer day, you also have small seconds. With a retrograde pointer date, you've got Côte de Genève decorations on that dial. See those horizontal bars that are going across? That's a Côte de Genève decoration. You've got that template for the faceplate there with the intersecting circles, and it kind of looks like an amphitheater with the days. Yep. This is just spectacular. It's named after the famous astronomer Francis Baily, who discovered Baily's beads. You have your individually applied 12, 4, and 8. This is a collector's piece for sure. This is very unusual. And you know, with here it is at 177. I mean, in the old days, this would have been a 349, 399 kind of piece.
Oh, absolutely.
So you know, guys, this is unusual. It's a collector's kind of a piece. It's not. I guarantee you don't have something like this, and I'll be glad to show you, you know, how that, you know, the pointer day.
Yeah, I'll let Larry do that because I just want to
take this off.
Yeah,
here?
go ahead. Take the rose tone version there if you don't mind. I'm going to keep this silver. This is my pick. I love this silver tone one. The bezel is polished. The case is polished. It almost it shines. It has almost like a mirror-like reflection off of the silver tone. I like the uniqueness of this movement. I've not... Think about this for a second. There is a pin coming up just above the 6 o'clock position that is what causes your second hand to rotate. Your second hand constantly in motion. That same area, you have a pin coming up, same thing, where now you have the day. Here's where I wish you had the watch taken apart. I'd love to see how that works.
Yeah, you know, listen,
wow.
I had our watchmaker take apart the Raven, but take a look at this,
I
guys.
like this.
Okay, we're going to focus on the subdial at 6 o'clock. Now, maybe what I should do is get those hands completely out of the way. This watch is set perfectly, thank you all, but I'm just going to unset it so we can get the hands out of the way. But you see the subdial down there at 6 o'clock, and the pointer day is pointing to Monday. Okay, can we see that?
Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to push it. You see, if you just, it's hard for me with my left hand, Sean. I got to do it right-handed. Hold on, guys. Why am I having so much trouble here?
I don't know. Mine's working. Is it when you set the date?
Yeah.
When you set the time, I should say.
Very nicely done, Sean. I got to get the hands out of the way.
You know how we always say, don't
Sean.
make adjustments to your mechanical watches at certain times of day?
Right. Well, you know, that's interesting that you brought that up, Sean, because it actually wouldn't let me. But I just wanted to get it out of the way. What Sean has said, and he's absolutely right, is you can't set the time, the day of the week or the date when you're between 9 and 3 p.m. and 9. But anyway, here we go now. So you just push it, and you see you could set your day of the week with the pusher, right?
Yep.
So you say, well, gee, that's great, but what about your date, your calendar date? Well, with the calendar date, over here, you have a recessed pusher. And it works the same way, but it's recessed, so you need a tool. And this is the tool you're going to get, and you just push it with the tool, and it's going to set the calendar date.
Isn't that neat? You don't need to use a pen, which obviously would mark up. You don't want to use a ballpoint pen on your pushers there, because that would mark it up.
But there it is.
Now, the rose tone, I take this back. The silver tone is the most limited. Good. That's my favorite, too. I really like this silver tone execution. The dial is very striking. Now, and I don't say this usually about rubber strap watches. This is so professional. I could still see a doctor wearing this. I could see a lawyer wearing this. There's something very professional about this. In fact, I would consider swapping out this strap here with maybe like an alligator or a leather strap, and then you'd really take this to a whole nother level. Larry is topping me now with the measurements here. Look at you.
Well, you know, the thing of it is, Sean, you always bring yours here. You can use mine. So
No,
because they're coming in on my back shot here.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I want to see how smooth Larry is at this.
Well, here, I just want to get a case down there. 42 and a half, guys. So you have 42 and a half millimeter case. I know a lot of you like to know the millimeter size, of course, and there it is. So it's about a 42 and a half millimeter size. So it's a nice presence on the wrist. It's not too overbearing, but I'd say it's kind of a dressy piece.
Absolutely, I agree completely. We do have luminescence on this. I forgot all about that. Let's show you the luminescence on the hour and the minute hand, mainly on this piece. That is very impressive to see. I don't know why I like this so much. Sometimes you can never decipher exactly what it is about a watch that you like. I think it's the uniqueness of the movement. The fact I've never shown this movement before. You've not seen this. None of our brands, to my knowledge, have used this movement. I haven't seen anybody else do this. Look at the case back. There you have your exhibition case back, even decoration there.
Yeah, really nice. You see the Côte de Genève on the back plates there. You have perlage up in the back pillar plates, and you got the name Bailey over here on the other side there. You got the.
I like their cream.
You got the Damier finish rotor.
That was a bad joke. Wow, did that lay an egg?
I didn't
you
even
very
get it.
much. Holy cow! Did I die on that one?
I had missed it. I didn't hear. I heard it, but I didn't get it.
No, I'm not going to repeat it at this point. That was not worth repeating.
Okay.
80, I will repeat the value pay, $88.63 to get that one home. I should just crawl right off the set at this point.
Thanks, guys.
V90780. Enjoy that one, as I know you're going to, coming up a little bit later on in the show. Actually, this one we're going to show you here is coming up. This is our producer's pick. That interests me, Bryce. I want to get into that when we get there, because this isn't, sometimes you know a person, you think you know their style, and once in a while they throw a curveball at you. Here is the biggest selling watch of the hour outside of the hour top value, the Cesario. Am I saying that right? I'm calling it
Cesario.
Okay, thank you. And it is on an automatic in 4 choices: brown, gold tone, rose tone, silver tone. That's a tough decision. They're all nice, and $18.52. You're going to get that home, and there's free shipping and handling. Actually, I want to get some dimensions on this next one right away, because this case is not only going to be a nice diameter, it's a thicker case as well. This is your, and we haven't shown you this yet, the Milano quartz watch, priced at $139.75, and your first payment is $69.87. What'd you find there, Larry?
I wanted to double check. It's 49.
It is 40. Okay, thank you.
It's a 49 millimeter round case, and I love this piece.
I do
And
too.
I'm really. I said last night, I'm really starting to feel like you are, in the sense that I'm a little late to the party.
Yes.
On these big watches,
Yep,
but
that's me.
it's
That's
slowly.
me.
I don't know if you're into in investing in stocks and things like that, but there's a famous
not
investor
anymore.
out there who says, how does this stock go from 50 to 100?
Yes.
51, 52, 53, like that. Well, that's kind of
Yep.
how I've been with these watches.
Yep, I'm the same way,
I was
Larry.
like 40, 41, 42. All of a sudden, I'm into these big 48, 49.
Yep.
I'm into these things now, but it took me a while.
Yep, I know the feeling, and I know we're talking to many of you who are in the same boat, and you're starting now to get a liking to these pieces. Now, this is not.
Look at this.
I still get emails from people saying, when are we going to see a 60 millimeter watch? Well, I'm not even close to getting a desire to seeing that yet. At 49,
It doesn't even feel like it's too big.
This is a great entry, and thank you, Larry. That's exactly the point. It doesn't feel too big at all. And Larry has on, let me show you the choices: rose tone black, silver tone brown. Larry has on the silver tone black. That's my pick as well. I like this silver tone black version. Silver tone brown is the most limited, but it's fairly close between the three. I don't know what it is about. It's a straightforward watch as far as, well, actually, no, I take this back. Swiss quartz on this.
It's Swiss quartz, and not only is it
I beg your pardon. I was going to say Miota.
No, not only is it a Swiss quartz movement here, but you also have a screw-down crown, and you wouldn't expect a screw-down crown on this piece.
Oh, my God.
But
I did not notice
so
that.
you have 100 meters of water resistance on this piece. You've got this big Mambo rubber strap. Look at the integration with the rubber strap right at the lugs. It's not just a normal straight across. I mean, it really integrates. It's custom fitted to the case, as you can see. This is a sandwich style case where you have a case top, a case main body, and a case back. And it's being held together with those 4 corner posts, which actually are so beautifully integrated to the design feature of the case. And you see how it's got those hexagonal lug nuts at the top and bottom. And this is something that's such a signature of the Italians, in the sense that the way that they incorporate functionality to the design of their jewelry, okay? And hence the name Milano. Of course, everybody knows that Milan, Italy is the center of the fashion world, and this is very much looks like an Italian-inspired design.
You know what? Excellent point. It absolutely does. I am fascinated by every little nuance and touch of this piece. The bezel has almost like a record-like groove to the design on the outside of the bezel. But when you look closely, there's an angle. It angles at, I don't know, a 45-degree angle or whatever it would be, coming down. Then there's a flat surface on the side. So it has this real three-dimensional reach to the way that this bezel is designed.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying.
This is magnificent, Larry.
Yeah, it really is. And, I was saying last night, when I was showing this with Kimberly, I know the piece so well and everything, but for the first time, when I was out here with Kimberly, I was saying, you know what? I need this one in my collection.
I'm with you.
And I grabbed the same one tonight, the black. Now, on the brown, it gives you that really rich bronze tone. It's a brown PVD. You have a brown dial, but it's like a bronze tone. It looks like a big chunk of bronze, okay? And there's those hexagonal lug nuts, as you can see. I mean, it really is like a piece of, like an architectural type of piece here.
We've got great luminescence on this. You're going to be really impressed with the luminescent properties on this one. Take a look. Your hour, your minute hand, the accents as well are all going to be luminescent, and you can see that in the beautiful detailing that goes into this Stuhrling original timepiece. Available here with one payment of only $69.88. First payment on any major credit card is going to get that one home. Now, the rose tone black is the one I've had on. I want to just turn this a little, show you the side view. There is just something so unbelievably, just off the chart expensive looking about this piece.
Very much so.
Larry showed a piece last night, I think we might have one tonight as well, that's in this famous watch book that comes out. This looks like it would belong in that same publication.
Oh,
There's
definitely.
something very, and I think it goes back to the Italian inspiration that you mentioned on this piece.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you. It looks like it's, you know, thousands of dollars.
Yes.
But it's, you know, kind of a straightforward design, Italian design. There's the case back shot. You see it's a screwed in case back. You got the screws in the corners there. So it's not just a pop off case back, and you see the decorations on the case back as well. But again, I'm proud of this piece. I mean,
You should be. You should be.
In the sense that, you know, it's not your traditional Stuhrling look. I mean, we broke out of the box. We actually came out with all four of our Milanos. You know, the Milano series, we busted it out last summer. And we've seen the Milano chronograph here in the past, but this is just a straightforward, you know, three-hand with a date, so you don't have the sub-dials and the pushers and all that. So, you know, it's a very reasonable price, too. So this is a great, great look, and I know a lot of you have already, you know, gotten tuned into our Milano series, but this is the first time we brought the Milano, the round case Milano, without the chronograph.
One more shot I want to try and get before we go, and it's kind of a strange shot of setting up here, but there's a reason for it. If we can get kind of a straight-on side view here, I'll tell you what I'm looking at. Look at the crystal. The crystal is actually raised up just a little bit right outside of that bezel.
Yeah, and as far as the thickness of the case there, it's 14.2.
Wow, I thought it was bigger.
Yeah, it's a little over 14 millimeters thick. I mean, that's pretty thick, Sean.
Oh, it absolutely is.
14
I
millimeters.
felt that.
Yeah.
But I like that crystal. You know, don't be afraid of that. Scratch resistant, obviously, so you can enjoy wearing that. $69.87 is your first interest-free value payment. And they're all selling. In fact, we have a race to the finish on that. All three of those are going. Rose tone black, silver tone black, and silver tone brown. You have found a favorite tonight. It's what you're about to see on your screen outside of the Our Top Value, of course, biggest selling item of the hour.
Here comes a deal right here. Check this deal out.
Larry said it. It is absolutely a deal. This is the Cesario Automatic. This is our producer's pick in this hour.
Run to the phone for this one. Look at the today only here, Sean.
Yep, you said it. It is $92.61 today only. In addition to that, we are going to extend to you a couple things, actually. First of all, 5 value payments.
Wow.
That means $18.52 is going to get this one home. Gotta love that first interest-free value payment. Something else, however, to consider, the fact that we have this one tonight with free shipping and handling, actually today, because that will run the course of the day as long as we have quantity. So an outright $18.52 on any major credit card is getting home the brown, the gold tone, the rose tone, or the silver tone on I guess I'll get my 2 cents out here before I let Larry chat about this, because I'm really taken by the straps that are used. These are not rubber straps. First washed tonight on a leather strap that even has a dual deploying buckle. So there's a ton of what I consider upgrades on this for a $92 price point.
This is just a flat-out deal.
You're right. It is, absolutely.
This is just a great deal right here, especially with the 5 VPs, but the overall price, I mean, you got a skeleton mechanical automatic. Now, we talk a lot about skeletons because Stuhrling, we do a lot of them, and they're very, very popular for us, but this is our steady, you know, ST90089 movement here, guys. So you're going to get a very reliable mechanical automatic movement, but it's skeletonized, and that means it's been, you know, decorated. And skeletonized mechanical automatic movements are just flat out more expensive than just straight mechanical automatic movements, because they have to be cut away and there's so much more labor, and then they have to be decorated. But this one, you're going to get you know, nobody really does this movement as well as we do. And now let's take a look at the presentation of this movement. We've put it into a 43 millimeter case. Now, a lot of you might remember when we had our Delphi out here, we ran through nearly 5,000 pieces of the Delphi.
Oh, yes.
Okay, and the Delphi was phenomenal, and it is a great value and a great piece. That was in a 39 millimeter case. Now, this is the same movement that was in the Delphi, but the presentation on this is a 43 millimeter case. So for some of you out there who said, I love the Delphi, but 39 millimeters was a little smaller than I wanted to pull the trigger on. Well, here we have that same movement now in a case that actually is really a more expensive case, not just because it's bigger, but take a look. It's a two-piece case, okay? You've got on two of the executions here, you have a black PVD case. That's the gold tone and the rose tone, okay? As far as the brown and the silver tone bezel, that's a stainless steel case. But you notice the bezel and the case are actually different pieces, okay? Now, what you've got is you have a dodecagonal bezel. Now, I remember the other night I was watching you, and
I know what that is now.
I just want you to know that I do watch you from home a lot, okay?
Yeah.
Well, you've been on a lot, you know? Every time I turned, I couldn't get away from you because
every ShopNBC around here.
That's right. But my point is, it's a dodecagonal bezel, which is a 12-sided bezel, okay? And this is from our Bardolatry series. It's the Cesario, and of course, Cesario was a famous character in the 12th Night, okay?
Oh.
Yes, absolutely. And it's, you know, you have to know the Shakespeare, Shakespeare plays and
Which I don't.
Well, anyways, it was a case of mistaken identity.
I don't have your class, Larry.
Well, it was...
I don't know plays.
Anyway, it was a case of mistaken identity. But Cesario came from the 12th Night, and here you have a 12-sided bezel. But you can see what's remaining of the dial goes around the perimeter, and you have those beautiful kind of fancy Arabic numerals that are, beautifully applied all the way around the dial. You've got the beautiful skeletonized mechanical automatic movement inside, and here you can actually bring one home for under 20 bucks, no shipping and handling. And I get a lot of questions, a lot of emails at work and phone calls, and they say, well, how come this vendor always gives free shipping and handling and you don't? I don't know if you get those questions.
Oh, yeah.
And the truth is because we do vendor drop shipping, and we're just not in a position to always eat that, especially when we have these sharp prices.
Well, it makes good sense. Yeah,
it's just a different shipping process than many of the other vendors here, and that's the bottom line, guys. But look, here you have a situation. Don't ask me how we worked it out, but we did. It's very rare, as you know, if you follow Stuhrling Original, you've got not only an $18 value pay, but free shipping. So you don't have to add another $5 or $10 on here. So you can bring this home for under 20 bucks. Take all the executions, try them out. Dad's Day's around the corner. I don't have to tell you how to buy or who to buy or what to buy.
Right.
But take a look what you're getting here, a skeletonized mechanical automatic, and bring it home for $20. You're paying homage to the entire art of watchmaking when you have a skeleton mechanical automatic timepiece. And it's about time for me to put one on my wrist. Which one? I'm going to let you pick it, Shawn.
You know what? I'd like to see one of the stealthier black pieces, because
okay.
I'm going more for the silver tone and the rose tone. So we'll give, and actually with Larry's shirt and his coat, I think that probably works better anyways.
All right.
I have really fallen in love with this one here, and I guess that's the rose tone option, or is this the brown option? I have the brown option. Larry has the rose tone option, I do believe.
That's correct.
Okay. I want to make that clear because they're similar yet different. So the one I have fallen in love with here is the brown
that looks
version.
so good, Shawn.
This is such a deal. I finally got my computer up, and I'm looking at the chat, and people in the chat room are talking about these crystals a lot. And I want you to see this particular
slightly
crystal.
domed, slightly domed.
Thank you. I was just going to point out that it has a slight dome to it, which is something that we've not seen tonight. Is it the same Cristerna crystal, or is it a different one?
No, it's Cristerna. I mean, with little exception, we almost always use Cristerna. There's a few watches we use mineral, and once in a while, I mean, we used to use sapphire all the time, but it's pretty much, since we own the trademark and it's a proprietary to Stuhrling, it's Cristerna all the way.
Well, let's see this on Larry's wrist. I'm kind of curious for my own curiosity's sake to see this on your wrist, even if it is upside down. That's okay.
Did I put it on upside down?
You put it on so you could look at it. We want our friend at home to be able to see this.
Hold on. Thanks, guys. Sorry, guys.
Even after all the years in this industry, it's so easy to do. Don't laugh at home. Believe me, it's so easy to do. We all do it here. But see, now with the outfit that Larry has on, I like the black IP-plated case. The two that will have that are the rose tone and the gold tone. Will get you the black IP-plated case. By the way, our phones have gone insane on these pieces. One interest-free payment and free shipping and handling. I am getting one of these. To anybody that doubts my sincerity, I'm serious. In fact, in the chat room, Sometimes they want a little behind-the-scenes thumbs up. I'm giving them a thumbs up on this one. This is absolutely one you should be getting. Everybody watching tonight should be picking up one of these. I like the leather strap on these. Nothing wrong with rubber straps, but I like the leather strap.
And a push-button dual deployment. And I know you mentioned that already, but it's worth mentioning again because at this price point, you would think that, you know, it's a Tang buckle. And nothing wrong with Tang buckles. I love them too. But from a manufacturing cost standpoint, the push-button dual deployment literally will cost anywhere from 8 to 12 times what a Tang buckle is going to cost. So it was not intended to do a today only. It was not intended to sell this under $150. But here it is, you know, for whatever reason, you know, whether we need to move the goods or we need to entice you or for whatever reason, it doesn't really matter what the reason. The bottom line is this is just a tremendous, tremendous value right here, and a lot of you are reacting to this.
And Larry, we've got a good question from the chat here. Who asked this? Zoe is asking, is this too big for a woman to wear?
Definitely not. You know, if you would have asked me that question, you know, 2 years ago, I might have said, you know, I might have said yes. But you know what? Like I just told Shawn, I personally was late to the party. I admit it. And I have to be honest, that ladies are buying men's watches and they're getting away with not only wearing 43s and 44s, they're getting away with wearing even bigger than that. I wish we had a lady, you know, here in the studio.
Yeah, we unfortunately, Shauna realized that I was coming on, so she said, I'm out of here. That's it.
There is absolutely no question.
Can I steal your calipers, Larry? Somebody asked a question in the chat about the case thickness, and the case thickness
Don't tell me. I'm going to guess. Let me give. I like to guess. Let's play name that case size.
I like this.
All right, I'm going to say 10, 11, 12, 13.
Yeah. Well, it was like 12.5 inches.
Yeah, I should have known that because our cuvette is about a 10.5, and that's thin.
Well, that's exactly what part of this is the dome and the crystal too, is adding in just a little bit more to it. This is a hit. We have, honestly, we are moving through enough of these where we might sell this out in one airing. Oh, the clock is...
Look what's happening.
I wanted to talk more about. I'm not done talking about this. You move. I'll keep talking about this. I really like this.
And I wanted to give them a little tour of the balance wheel and everything.
We're staying here. You know, visually they have to show something else, but Larry and I are going to sit here and stare at this.
Well, listen, guys, they're making us move on, but I'll tell you what, guys. You know, a lot of you are on the phone. Hang in there. We're going to get to you. I feel bad, but just hang in there. It's worth it. And
someone just in the chat said, Larry, your watches are so hot. I picked up my first Stuhrling, the Raven. Please tell me, do I get the pointer with that?
The Raven, the
little
thingy. The tool. No, it doesn't come with it.
Okay.
And listen, you know, I mean, if there was a way that, you know, I could just throw it in the box for you, I would.
People love that stupid little pointer that you have.
It's really cool. But, you know, if you send me an email or something like that, you know, I'll try to make it happen.
I love it. That is great.
If I could pull your order and just throw it into your box, I would. But we get hundreds of orders, and the guys are going crazy shipping. And it's not going to be easy to pull your order and throw a pointer in, you know, a pusher in there.
There is the Raven. You can keep calling in on it. James picked up the Raven tonight in the chat, and he wants me to thank you. You helped him with his millennia, and because of your great customer service, he picked up that our top value tonight.
Well, thank you, James. Appreciate it very much.
Yeah, a lot of fans out there.
Thanks.
Stay on hold. We have a ton of you still getting into that last watch. We have blown through over 100 of those already, and I'm adding my order on that one later. In fact, I got to take that card with me tonight, so I don't forget that. The Louis watch is next. I'll give you a crisp dollar bill if you sing Louis Louis.
A dollar bill?
Yes.
Listen, I tell you what, man, it'd take a lot more than a dollar because I love singing, but you know what? I love to listen to singing. I do not have a voice at all. I'll be the first one to admit it. And if I can come back in a second life, Shawn, I want to be a singer. And I would never work again.
I'm one of those in church, I sing, but at a very low voice. It's like, because I want to participate, but my voice will...
Anyway, here we go with the Louis. And I know there's a lot of you on the phone right now, and I'm sure a lot of it has to do with that Cesario that just passed by. But while you're on the phone, I'm telling you now, do yourself a favor and add the Louis to your order. This is a spectacular, spectacular offer at $150 on the money right here. A master calendar, Shawn, I'm going to let you get it started, and I'll pick it up.
We have 4 choices here with the black and rose tone, black and silver tone. Pretty self-explanatory. It's the case and the dial. Then you have the silver tone, rose tone, and silver tone, silver tone. So some great options here, and actually I might have oversimplified it. Let me double check something here, because it is dial and silver tone, silver tone. We have 2
Here's what it is. The black silver tone is going to be black dial, silver tone case.
Okay.
The black rose tone is going to be black dial, rose tone case. Silver tone rose tone is going to be a silver tone dial with the rose tone case.
Okay.
And the silver tone has got the blue hands. If you want the blue hands, you got to order silver tone.
That's what I was looking for.
That's
I like
my
this.
choice. I mean, I love them all. They're all very striking. They're all tremendous executions, and no one is trying to push you into one or the other. You take whatever you want. Believe me, I don't care.
I like this.
But anytime you can have blued hands and blued numerals, to me, that is so classy.
I agree.
It's an homage to Abraham Louis Breguet, who invented the furnace blue process. These are not furnace blued hands. I would be misleading you if I said they were. They're actually, they're actually painted or they're dyed. Okay, but it doesn't really matter how they got blue. It's still an homage to Abraham Louis Breguet, and I'll tell you what, blued hands and blued numerals says, I know a little something about watchmaking, and I just love the blue. But here we go.
Look at the movement, though. You can see the layout of 3 subdials straight across, running from, what, about 8 o'clock over to 4 o'clock there, Larry?
Absolutely, and that's what makes this movement so rare. This is the only model in our entire collection where we actually have this particular caliber of movement in the watch. It's a mechanical automatic. It's not a quartz. It's not a computer chip. It's not a battery, okay? It's running off of a mainspring, and you have a master calendar, which is day, date, and month, and a 24-hour indicator down there at the 6 o'clock position, okay? So if you take a real close look at these subdials right there, you see going by the 7 o'clock position right there, or 8 o'clock position, that is your month, which is numbered 1 through 12. It's not January, February, March, April, May. It's numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like if you were to put your birthday, you might put,
9 for September.
Okay, right. So you have, the month over on at the 8 o'clock position. You have a 24-hour indicator down there in the center. You have your day of the week over there at 4 o'clock, and then the date is up there with a date aperture at the 12 o'clock position. So, the actual, what you're getting, of course, is you're getting just a phenomenal, multi-complicated timepiece. But then let's look at the design. The design is gorgeous. All of those baton indices, which are kind of elongated trapezoids right there, those are all individually applied to the dial. You've got the skeletonized sword blade hands with the crenellated bezel. You see those subdials there? Those are all individually applied borders, like templates that are put onto the dial, and they're applied to the dial. Then the bezel has what we call a crenellated bezel, where it looks like a castle top, where it goes up and over and down, and they used to stick their heads out and shoot their bows and arrows and everything. So it's very medieval, and that's where you get that whole King Louis thing going on. And this is the Louis, the sword blade, the crenellated bezel, the sword blade hands. You understand what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. I've never heard that term before. Crenellated.
Yeah, like a crenellated rooftop.
I know what you mean.
On top of a castle.
I never thought of that term with regards to these watches. Look at the back of
the case back.
Larry.
Oh, look at that. Guys, I'm telling you now, listen to me. This is a fantastic offer at $150. We've had this piece for probably around 2.5, 3 years now, and it really has stood the test of time. We've been into several productions on it, and it just keeps selling and selling and selling. It looks like a timepiece that sells for $10,000, and you get it for $150. You got the value pays as well. Now this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is a 42, maybe a 43 millimeter case. Let me just measure it. I think it's 42, but
it says 42 on my notes.
Oh, does it say 42?
We'll double check it.
I haven't measured this case probably in 2 years. It's 42.1. So yeah. 42 millimeter case, so it's got a nice presence on the wrist. Did we show it? You showed it on your wrist?
Yes, I did have it on my wrist.
Okay.
I had that silver tone. We got to go. So,
all right.
We're going to get to one more piece this hour, one more hour of Stuhrling still to come, and then I have a bonus third hour with you tonight you're going to want to stick around for. Here's another one I kind of like. This is the Eclipse 2 on an automatic movement. This is in 2 choices remaining, the black and gold tone or the white and gold tone. Pretty straightforward there on your screen, the 2 that we have, and a price of $175.75 and a first interest-free value payment of $58.58 to get this home.
This is spectacular. It's our Eclipse 2. Now, this is a 44 millimeter case. Our original Eclipse was a 42. We bumped it up to a 44, and then it really took off at this size. But it looks like framed art for the wrist. You have the intersecting dials. You have the junior main dial, which gives you the hour and minutes right there. And then you have the small second subdial that intersects with the junior main dial. And then you've got that nice border frame that's applied to the dial. You've got the screwed onto the dial. And then what really makes this piece so unique is the 24-hour indicator. Yeah, the 24-hour indicator over there at the traditional 9 o'clock position, it's actually segmented into 3 8-hour segments. Typically on a 24-hour indicator, it's going to be one circle of 24, maybe divided into 2 12-hour segments. Here you have 3 8-hour segments. And I don't know if we have the time here.
Well, here, I'm going to pull the crown out. I'm going to start advancing the time.
But you'll
on
see
this
as Shawn is advancing it around, thank you, Shawn, you see that hand kind of moving around as he passes 2 o'clock. It just passed 14, 15, 16. And now when he gets up
over
here,
there.
now the longer hand comes out and it points to the 3rd row. So there he's at 20 and 2100. Now he's at 2200, 2300, 24. That's midnight.
I wonder what'll happen now.
And when he comes to 1 o'clock in the morning, there's going to be a little baby hand that's going to come out that first row, and it's got to come in tight. But it's
little tiny hand.
Yeah, but it's going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have a 24-hour indicator that is broken into 3 8-hour segments, guys. But this look is a very hot look in the industry as well. A lot of companies are doing this now where you have the intersecting dials on the watch. But look at those beautiful horizontal bars that are going across the dial. It gives it a very high-end, classy, elegant look, Shawn. I'll tell you, guys, this is just spectacular. And you know, again, we were never thought that when we make these timepieces that we're going to be at these prices. These are all, you know, $400 and up type of pieces, and we're selling them for under $200. So, again, take advantage. I'm going to show this one on the wrist if I can, Shawn.
Yeah, we'll get a shot here. Let me give you that one then.
Okay.
Since they're showing a tight shot of this. And we have a clock on the screen counting us down to the end of our 2nd hour of Stuhrling.
Check it out.
We will have 1 more hour to come. This is also on a leather strap. Now, this is kind of going back to Stuhrling's real great work that they do with professional-looking timepieces. This is a doctor's watch. This is a businessman's watch. This is an attorney's timepiece. It has a very professional, very stately appearance to it.
Very well said, Shawn. This is not an everyday timepiece, guys. This is a dressy piece. This is for work. You know, if you do that kind of work. This is for an evening event. Go out to dinner with another couple. This you got to get dressed up a little bit. This is the kind of piece, you've heard me say it before, but you know, you wear it with a $300 suit, it makes it look like a $3,000 suit. This one wears like a $10,000 timepiece, guys, and it will look like $1 million on you.
It is V90046. We have a bunch of you still getting in on that. And of course, take a second to remind you, a couple items ago, we have now sold through a couple hundred of our today only. Obviously, still picking up on the hour top value. So we're going to give you a quick little recap here before we move into 2nd hour. But my 2nd hour, I will be with you for 3 tonight. I have a bonus hour that we'll be sharing later on. Here is our Raven Diablo watch, the hour top value today, which already, again, hundreds of you have taken advantage of. They're all selling, I guess, a slight edge to the rose tone, perhaps, if I had to pick the first to go, V90825. We still have all 3 choices. That is on 4 value payments for the day, or until sellout, and of course, reduced shipping on that down to $4.99. So I congratulate everybody that has taken advantage of that one today. And again, that is the best value that we have all day, hence the hour top value designation. However, that said, this hour, the biggest selling item is the Cesario. By far, hundreds of you have called in on this already. I still have all 4 choices, the brown, the gold tone, the rose tone, the silver tone. I think I'm getting the brown on that. I'm not positive. I'm going to take another look at those after the show. That's one of the perks of being here in the building. We can inspect those once more on our own time because I really do like that one, and I have to get one of those. Larry and I are going to be back with another hour of Stuhrling original timepieces. He's back in the morning, too, so there's a lot of Stuhrling
Don't go away,
shows
guys. We have some more goods coming up.
We certainly do. Stand by. More Stuhrling original coming up. Right now, we have this for you to look at. Watch.